I just got this bad boy in. Have you ever had a bourbon finished in Limousin Oak? I never have. Well, is it worth $350? Only one way to find out. Let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways. I'm Doc Martinez, and I have this bottle here. Now, I've had a Laguna Madre before, but for some reason I never opened it, got put on the top shelf, and I kind of forgot about it. Well, this year when it came out, I saw that I could actually pick up one, so I grabbed one. So it's going to be the first time I'm trying something that's finished in Limousin Oak. Now, this bottle I was thinking in my head was $250. It's actually $350 MSRP. For some reason online, same week that I was ordering this one, I found this bad boy. It's on the back, it's Dancing Goat Distillery, and it's Limousin Rye Limited Edition whiskey distilled from rye mashed, barrel aged with French oak staves. Now, since I don't have any experience with Limousin Oak, I thought this would be fun to compare. This is a $350 bottle compared to, I want to say, $60 or $70 bottle. I figured what best way to do this than to kind of pour them out, taste them both blind, and see which one I like more. Big differences I want to say up front. This is Garrison Brothers, and it's a 101 proof, and this is bourbon whiskey finished 4 years in Limousin Oak. Now, this one is a rye, limited released, aged 11 years, but it's 62%. Bourbon to rye, so it's not quite apples to apples. It's a little bit apples to oranges, both in this in Limousin. So I'm going to see, is that Limousin very good? Do I like that finished flavor? And is it worth $350? Or can we just enjoy that flavor in a $60, $70 bottle? Well, let's pop these open and find out. Ooh, very, very nice. Ooh, nice. All right, so I got both of them poured out, sat over to the side. We'll kind of mix them up so I don't know which is which. But let's talk a little bit about each of these bottles, right? Now, this is Garrison Brothers. I love Garrison Brothers. I'm a Texas boy. Garrison Brothers has a nice Texas funk, and they do it very well. I love the way they do it, right? So Laguna Madre is this is bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, finished 4 years in Limousin Oak, which is a French oak. 50.5% alcohol by volume, so it makes it 101 proof. And let me see, Laguna Madre's Texas straight bourbon whiskey, lovingly caressed from custom Limousin Oak cask. A creamy visceral finish like the natural high one feels across the Queen Isabel Causeway. Huh, interesting. On an early springtime afternoon, brightness and azure waters of the Laguna Madre as she shines like an aquamarine temptress, beckoning you to come out and play. I like their description. That just very descriptive and describes Laguna Madre pretty well. So that's pretty interesting. Let's look at this. Now, this Limousin, I've never seen it before. It just happened to cross my path. And it's probably because I was looking at this one and it had Limousin. So sometimes you know how they like to show you other things that are similar. So this is Limousin Rye Limited Edition. Whiskey distilled from rye mash, batch 5B14C, age 11 years, 62% alcohol by volume. Barrel aged with French oak staves, and those French oak staves are Limousin. This is Dancing Goat Distillery, and it says for most brands, consistency is king. Not here. Limousin Rye is and has always been about celebrating each individual blend of rye whiskey, and its star-crossed lover Limousin Oak. Through the years, we switched between 51% and 94% rye, depending on what was ready, not just available. In some ways, we pay penalties for that, but now there is a bounty for us all to share. This limited release is available annually. Dive into a world of rye done right. Yep. And it says Nick Moss, Distiller and Blender. There you go. So a little bit of information on both of these. Now, I've never, as I mentioned before, I've never had a Limousin finished bourbon or rye. So I figured this was a great way to jump into it and kind of just see the differences as a bourbon, as a rye, see what that finish tastes like, see if I can pick that out. One is $350. One is, I think, $60 or $70. I want to say it was closer to 70, but I don't remember offhand. But let's bring those out here. Now, I put them to the side. I don't remember which is which, but they are labeled on the bottom, so I will keep that from showing. Now, I did use these wee Glens. Only reason is I don't know where my normal Glens are, and all my other Glens have labels on them, so I didn't want to have them with different labels. And so this is the only one where I had the same labels, which is the Whiskey Tree. And I actually got these when I went out there in October. All right, so let's just start by looking at these. Looking at this one, it is a nice amber color. It's a little bit light. hold on. I can see just from moving it around, it sticks to the glass rail. So let me swirl this up a little bit. And looking at that, it sticks to the glass okay. Has some legs. The legs are nice and close together. Actually, the ones on top are tight. There's a few that ran, but most of them are tight at the top. Now this one is a lot darker than that one. You can probably see it even on that. There's a big difference in color on this one. This one's a lot darker than the other one is. That's hold on, let me swirl this up a little bit. Now on the glass, ooh, this is actually holding on to the glass very, very tight. The legs have barely even started forming, so they're sticking real tight together, holding a nice ring along the top here where I did it, except for this little jump here. But overall, looks really good. I'm gonna go in and start smelling these, right? Ooh, that just smells good. All right, just from the nose, I can already tell the differences. This is, sweet, caramelly, light on the nose, kind of candy-ish. This one, darker, those darker date notes. This one, I already off the bat, I can tell is Garrison Brothers. So I was trying to keep it blind, but just right off the nose, that Garrison funk is coming through. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. But I like that Garrison funk, and so at first it was funny. I was thinking that this one was going to be the darker one, but on the nose right away, this is going to be the Garrisons. All right, so let's go in for it. I'm still going to try to be as unbiased as possible, even though I know which is which. But I want to just taste it for what it is, compare the flavors, and see is that price point really worth that much of a price point, or should you go out and get something like this over this one to try that Limousin Oak? So here we go. Cheers for the first one. Wow, I need to go in. It was my first sip of the day. That was a lot of information my tongue took in at one time. I was not expecting that. There is a lot of flavor in this. Wow, I'm actually, for my first sip and for my first sip of Limousin and my first sip of the day, that was a little over. I shouldn't say overwhelming, over surprising. I like that. That was actually really good. I'm going for another one. Wow, that is great. That is a good pour. Now I don't know if that's the rye they use, if that's the Limousin Oak. Well balanced. It just goes from creaminess to oakiness to this orange creamsicle on the tongue, caramelly sweetness. Wow. Okay, that's gonna be tough to beat. That's gonna be tough to beat for Garrison's, just for knowing the price difference. But I'm gonna be unbiased. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna taste this one. I'm gonna go from a Garrison, and I'm a Garrison's fan. I like Garrison. I enjoy a lot of that they do. Cowboy's one of my favorites from them. But holy cow, that was a good starter. That was a great starter. All right, here we go. Here's the Garrisons. Garrisons, good pour, good Garrisons, good oakiness, good Texas funk in there. This one's a little bit more raisiny than some of the other Garrisons. Balmorea is kind of that raisin taste, and I'm a big raisin fan, but it has it in there. It's actually funny. It's not as dark as the Cowboy. It's not as dark as their newest one. What is that one called? The Sonora, which I just did a review. If you have not seen that, I'll leave a link for it right here and in the description below. That one is a darker kind of finish to it. This one is lighter, and I can see why they're doing that. They want a lighter finish to help with that Limousin. So I'm going for another sip. That's a great pour. That's a great pour too. So now I'm kind of curious. Is it that Limousin that's making... It has to be. There's a sweetness at the end. There's a nice sweetness. I know French oaks can give you a little bit more sweetness, but there's a sweetness at the end that I'm really enjoying. It just kind of just stays on the tongue. Both of these have nice oils that cover that. So I'm just going to really quickly go through them, kind of cleanse my palate, and then kind of give you my final thoughts on these. All right. I kind of went through both of them, making sure to cleanse my palate in between them, and then just enjoy both of them for what they are. And I'm going to tell you, both of them are very, very good. And I'm not trying to say that because, I really enjoy Garrison Brothers. Garrison Brothers is Garrison Brothers for what it is. It's a Texas whiskey that has a Texas funk, as we like to call it, but in a good way. They don't hide it. They have it there and they're showing it to you, and they want you to taste it. And that sweet finish at the end, that Limousin finish at the end, it's just great. Now, after I did this, cleansed my palate, went back to this one. The first sip on this one was a little bit bitter. But I'm going to try it again right now without cleansing. I didn't do that. I didn't actually, just kept cleansing between each one. I'm going to taste this one now after having this one in my mouth. Come back to this one. Wow. So both of them have some flavor in there. There's just a lot of flavor in both of them. Both of them surprised me for what they are. But honestly, if I were to tell you to go and choose one to buy right now, and I'm a Texas boy, I'm going to tell you to go find this one. For that $60, $70, I want to say it's $70. For that $70, this one hits all the marks. This one is just a nice sipper. I'm really enjoying it. Now, if this one was like 100 to 150, go grab that one too. But at $350, I just can't tell you to do that. I say this is 100, 150 at most dollar bottle that I think it's for somebody who's not a Garrison fan, for somebody who wants to try this limousine. I just don't think that's the price for it. I don't. There's probably other reasons that go into it, the distillery, how it's processed, all that stuff. And I'm not taking any of that into consideration. I'm just taking that limousine finish against limousine finish, you know, Garrison Brothers bourbon against a rye. For that price difference, and if you never had a limousine finish, go try this one. Honestly, that is just, I can sip on this all day. It's just so good. I can sip on this and not feel guilty, and just, you know, would enjoy sharing this with somebody who's never had that finish as well. And for that price point, yeah. So before I put this video on, I think I'm gonna go try to buy another one of these. I just have to remember where I bought it from. I have to go look to see where I bought this from because I don't remember. But holy cow, this surprised me in that first sip. It's still surprising me now. I'm still really enjoying this. I'm gonna start looking out for this. I'm gonna start looking out for limousine rye. I'm just impressed. I like when I'm surprised this way. It excites me. I like trying new things, and I want to share those new things with you out there. So when you guys find something that's like this, make sure to share it with me. Let me know about it. I want to experience this with you guys as well. I'm definitely gonna give away some samples of this. That wasn't my plan in the beginning, because usually when I do comparisons like this, I don't. But this is just so unique and so different. I feel somebody out there needs to try this as well. I'm gonna do that through Patreon for sure. Do some sample giveaways through Patreon for them to try this, because this is just, wow, different, unique, and impressive for me. So anyways, let me get off my rant there. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for joining me on another journey down my whiskey rabbit hole, or my Limousin Oak finish rabbit hole. To my next journey, my friends. Cheers.